Hello everybody, as promised, here is the codex review for the Black Templars 10th edition codex supplement. Just doing a quick blast from the past. There's a third or fourth edition supplement. I'm going to do a video on that, going through it. The 9th edition supplement that we all got in the army box. Still got my second one in the plastic wrap. And the reason everyone is here. 10th edition Collector's Edition Codex. I'm not going to go too much through the lore segments, because there's other channels where that's their thing, and I'll let them have that. I'm going to go a lot through the artwork and the Crusade section, though. But table of contents, it's already looking good picture-wise. Got the Crusade Ancient, Terminators, Captain. Grimaldus' flag guy sticks out like a sore thumb. Yeah, 9th edition cover. Might do a read through on this using my actual mic. This is nice. Wonder if anybody'd be able to freehand that. This makes telling your Crusade squads apart a lot easier on the tabletop. If you wanted to keep a consistent paint scheme, but you wanted something to tell them differently, instead of painting your rims a different color, paint your tabards. You got the faceplate as an option. If you are a maniac or have a 3D printer and you've got a bunch of the shoulder shields, you can just put one of those on everybody and then give the corresponding Crusade seal onto it. Check out the Mighty Brush. They've got entire sheets of just like one single Crusade available. And yeah, if you want to do a whole company in just one single one, that's the way to go, instead of having to rely on the GW transfer sheets. I like the maps that as they're getting updated. Gives you the names. John Blanche in all its glory. Chapter organization, just Crusades, how the fighting companies are divvied up. Castellan's got mean this edition. So did the Emperor's Champion. Excuse me. I got some lore on the Execrators and the Crusade Ancients. For Execrators, the Battle Brothers of a Crusade's Reclusium have had many sacred responsibilities. Chaplains and justiciars have varied ranks, some positions unique to individual crusades. Oh, so chaplains and justiciars are more titles, but there's individual ranks within those titles. Unique to the individual crusades, direct the learning of incendiary catechisms, hear confessions, and monitor their peers' spiritual purity, and safeguard the crusades' holy relics, or lead spiritual prayers within austere chapels and shrines. Execrators teach that battlefields are the most worthy sites of worship. The roar of bolters can be prayers, the slaughter of enemies, the worthy offering to the golden throne. The god emperor made the Black Templars for war. They bellow, so there is no temple that the battlefield in which the most devout can make their supplication. Execrators are hardened chaplains whose duty is to ensure nothing stands in the way of the Black Templars fulfilling their vows in battle. They preach upon the front lines with roared incentives and crushing blows from their Crosius Arcanum. They became a living embodiment of the vows sworn before battle, exemplifying everything the warriors who follow them should aspire to be. Execrators have led culls of entire war fronts and pursued escaping witches into the dangerous depths of enemy lines. They have forced breaches that led to the toppling of citadels and ordered the deployment of Promethean barrages to scour the craven foes' lands, leaving them nowhere to hide and plot. That's a long way of saying advance in charge. And Crusade agents. Yeah, for considering how tall the model is, it's a short amount of text. Crusade Ancient is an unyielding guardian and veteran fighter. They typically chain their standard to their gauntlet in tacit declaration of their refusal to let it fall while they live. Crusade Ancients exhort their battle brothers to extremes of selfless determination and the service of the Crusade's ideals, calling on them to unleash their reserves of strength and hate again and again. Each Crusade fleet maintains at least one vaulted chamber whose hulled walls are hung with the battle standards of bygone campaigns. Blood-stained tapestries, woven from iron glass threads depicting saintly eradication, banners bearing the personal heraldry of commanders, huge shields to which are chained grisly trophies of dead abominations. These and more are borne to war by veteran Black Templars. Amongst this elite group of Crusade Ancients, warriors who are honored to bear the iconography of the Crusade itself. Most Crusades have several banners bearing their emblems, and more than one veteran may serve as Crusade Ancient. Some fight with the marshal's household or its fighting companies, or serve in ceremonial positions to cow allies with the vaulted glory they are privileged to fight alongside. Wow. That's a thing. That's a word. Okay. Yeah. Execrators and Crusade Ancients. There's their background. Grimaldus. We all know who he is. Nice artwork on the Crusader squads and the Sword Brethren and the color contrast between the two. I like that. Helbrecht, the man himself. They really hit it out of the park with the artwork in this book. I like the red tabards. There's only one typo that just tickles the tism the wrong way. Execrator of the Armageddon Crusade. There's a Crusade shield's wrong. I don't know if I'm just being too picky with that, but yeah, I noticed that. That's the only mistake in the whole book, from what I've seen. There we go. course, the cat has to get into something while I'm doing this. Combat Patrol. Now, this is actually, I haven't played Combat Patrol once, so this is, trust me, this is a lot of a trust me bro, but on the base of it, it looks really solid. The one character can go with 2 of the squads, and the 3rd squad is pretty good on its own as just an anvil unit. And with his movement, yeah, like, it's pretty good all around. It looks pretty good all around. Got some good, easy painting schemes here. Because at the end of the day, like, 3-foot rule is really the only critique you should really worrying about, unless you're trying to win painting competition. If you're just painting to play, 3-foot rule is the only standard you should really be critical about. And these are a very good example of how to achieve that in a minimal way, so you don't get burnt out from doing the 3 to 4 squads that you have. Looks like for Combat Patrol you only get the 2 vows though. There's the data sheets for Combat Patrol. Some changes. Oh, maybe you don't get characters. Oh, maybe you can't read characters. Oh well. Man, they're really recycling this art piece. Like, this really won the vote at the company meeting. Either that or they're just going full Disney and we're just getting the good part. We're getting the top layer of it. This and Godhammer are the 2 that I'm kind of weighing back and forth right now. I haven't jumped on the Gladius train yet. I was really married to Righteous Crusaders, and now that we have all been divorced from that gorgeous index, it's been rough getting back into the dating pool, if you know what I mean. I don't mind Vindication. This would be more of a narrative. If I was playing a narrative game, I would definitely do Vindication Task Force for sure. Godhammer is really good. It's got some really good potential if you can use the movement shenanigans we have to reload the transports. You got to think of your transport like a shotgun, and you get the one shot, but unfortunately the stratagem we have doesn't allow us to get then back into the transport that same turn. That we should all write a letter about this one. Just remove that last line of text. We're good to go. Because then this detachment gets really good, especially since we don't have access to Armor of Contempt. That is kind of like my only gripe. Other than that, I see what they're going with, and I like it. Since we can only take our Land Raider Crusader, I think our Land Raider Crusader should go down in points. 200 is where I'm feeling it should be. Considering it's just a payload, it just delivers something and gives a buff. It doesn't really do damage. But I'm just a nugget. This was good. I think this came out in, this is 9th edition. Gorgeous artwork of Halbrecht and Grimaldus. Well, not so much Grimaldus. Yeah, I do love this part with the transport. You only count him, you don't count these guys. The Tasty Trio. These two with sword bros is just it's just a sword missile that eliminates anything. He just needs to go down in points, or this needs to be on a native 3-up. So the enhancement that you get with the detachment makes it a 2-up fight on death. Do that, and make him the same, and bring points down. And this guy is that that ancient detachment becomes really kind of worth it, at least to me. And then yeah, just had to have our own versions. I like this one. It's really rich. Blessed be the flame, for it cleanses the blasphemous. Blessed be the flame, for it illuminates the unrighteous. Blessed be the flame, for the pain it brings to the unholy. Let them writhe in the fires of our repugnance. Let their hearts char with the ferocity of our conviction, and let their souls burn under the gaze of the God Emperor. Nice. I remember back in the day, since this data sheet and the other Gladiator Valiant were two separate data sheets, you could take Firestorm, and if you were stupid enough to spend $700+ on Gladiator kit. Yeah, that's what I thought. Spend $700 on Gladiator kits. You could technically run 6 of these things, getting the +1 strength and the Melta boost. I wonder if anybody actually ever did that. I like this section. They really just simplified, what is a mastercrafted power weapon, and it's any power weapon now. Nice, clean, simple, so you can now model the way you want. You don't have, unlike 8th and 9th edition, where your weapon and what it was modeled as kind of mattered. Really love that they did that change in 10th. And now the cosmetic side of the hobby can really flourish under this simplified rule system. And then even with our Crusader relics with the enhancement, how they kind of goofed up a little bit when they made the relic bearers thing in 9th edition. You'll see that when I do this review. There were enhancements that you could put onto like just regular dudes, not even sergeants, just like Steve in the squad. And there were some ridiculous things you could do. That didn't carry over, but oh well. We still got to, now with the freedom with cosmetics, we can, the sky's the limit with what we can do. And here we go, Crusade. This art goes hard. Fighting no, that's not. I think Chaos Marines? No, Tau. Something. I don't know. Something that shouldn't be alive. I'm going to just kind of skim, so this is just a full codex review, I'm just going to skim through, but I am going to do the core rules for Crusade, the Space Marine rules for Crusade, and then the rules specifically for our chapter in Crusade, and then my thoughts and ideas and some combos. I love this. Anointed Champion, though. On the eve of battle, a warrior from the ranks of the assembled Black Templars might receive a holy vision and then be elevated in a ceremony conducted by the Crusade's chaplains to become the Emperor's champion, to wield the armor and weapons of that noble position and bring about great honor. The rules described in this section describe how to add these powerful individuals to your order of battle and how they progress in your Crusade force. So if you're using the Anointed Champion rules, you cannot add an Emperor's Champion model to your Black Templars order of battle in the normal way. So your order of battle and your Crusade supply is your whole force, and then your Crusade army is who's showing up to fight. So you can't in any way think of your Crusade supply as like, the ship in orbit holding everybody you have available to fight. You can't have an Emperor's Champion on there gaining experience, collecting stats. He doesn't have a character sheet, so to speak. But you can just bring a random one in. So long as you have enough Crusade supply, you can add one to any one of your Crusade armies, as we'll get into in a sec. I like these oaths that you can do. If you've got a printer, it'd be cool to print out a couple of like purity seals, and then just like get a glue stick or something, put them on a sheet as each time for each unit that accomplishes these things, if you wanted. Now, you get a lot of buffs from all this, but here's the kicker. If all parts have been completed, you gain all associated rewards listed for those parts, and if you selected those parts randomly, you gained 1 additional honor point. Otherwise, you gain no rewards, so it's all or nothing. I love it. And if anyone remembers the Relic Bearers from 9th edition, they're back. Here they are. This is where they went. We got Penitent's Roar. It upgrades your pistols, gives them precision, ignores cover, and +1 damage, +1 AP. So that could. I'll do some exploring to see who that could be good for. The Fist of Balthus. If everyone remembers, I had one of my fists on my Crusader squad always painted differently to represent this guy. He basically is like a mini. He just has a mini Halbrecht Mortal Wounds thing. They basically a chance for the enemy to shit their pants when he raises it in the air. The Crux Obsidian is once per turn plot armor. Love it. Remember Sergeant Chadius in the Assault Centurion squad in 9th edition. Holy Orb. It's a nice mortal wound grenade. It's when you use the grenade stratagem. You get mortals on a 3-up instead of a 4-up. And then the enemy unit has to take a battle shock test. So that could be really good if you've got a really fast unit with grenades. They just run up, throw that in somebody's face. With, I don't know, who has advance in charge these days. This one I really love, the Sword of the Lost Crusader. Select one power weapon or mastercrafted power weapon equipped by the bearer. That weapon is now a Crusade relic. Each time the bearer's unit has fought, select an enemy unit except vehicles, so monsters are involved. Hit by one or more of just the bearer's melee attacks this phase. Until the end of the battle, that enemy unit is set ablaze. While a unit is set ablaze at the start of each player's command phase, roll 1d6 on a 4-up. That unit suffers d3 mortal wounds. At the end of each player's command phase. Oh, so this is how you can get around those cheeky fuckers who have wound caps and stuff. So shooting phase 3, melee phase 3. Your turn ends, his turn starts, command phase, Another D potential 3. Yeah. That's great though. Your sword sets them on fire. Blade of the Emperor's Grace gives you like the Infiltrator Deep Strike Denial. It's a bit expensive at 9, but I guess if you got a big unit that could, you know, advance in charge, that could really just cover the whole board. Beastpire, I like. If there's a way you could give a flamer weapon anti-something as well as this, that would be incredible. Dev wounds, 3+3 to its attacks. So it's D6 plus 3. Yeah. The Icon of Hindman, that was a big one on that I think I put that on Blade Guard and Sword Brethren. Oh, and the Scepter of Fallen Empires, if you grind for this one early, you get extra agendas, which gives you the chance to just score more things and give you more options to level up and stuff. Here's the rules for Anointed Champion. I like this part. Agenda, Recovering Sacred War Gear. At the end of the battle, the player that controls the Sacred War Gear objective marker can select one unit from the Crusader army that is within range of that objective marker. That unit gains 3 experience. In addition, if you do not control that objective marker, at the end of the battle, you lose 5 honor points to a minimum of 0. It gets to a point where you actually have to, when he dies, you have to take a leadership test, and if you fail, this agenda will pop up and you have to go and recover his body. If you don't, you lose 5. You can you just lose 5 honor points, which are things that you get when you use the Oathsworn campaigns, which are pretty big in our book. And these are the enhancements that you can specifically give to the Emperor's Champion. 6 up, Feel No Pain, or 4 up against Psychic. Gain a CP each time he kills a character. When he selects to fight, he can either have lethal hits or sustained hits on his black sword. When he's fight, if one or more attacks from this model of this phase until the end. Oh, if he kills a character, every friendly guy within 6 gets +1 attack in melee. And then Frontline Crusader, Scout 6, and can reroll charge rolls made for this model's unit. Yeah. And then, at the start of the fight phase, if this model is not leading a unit until he gets, when he's running solo, he gets fights first. Some of the agenda. Oh, I like this one, first-hand experience. Instead of constantly always just losing your neophytes first, there's an incentive to keep some around. Each time that unit gained XP from this agenda, it gains an additional XP if it still contains 1 or more neophyte models. There's so much of the Squire Knight flavor in the in this part of it. Oh, God Emperor's Due. I'm gonna read this one quick. Purchase this requisition in the Determine Victor step if you gained 5 or more honor points during that battle and you were not the victor. You gain the victor bonus described in that mission even though you were not the victor. So if the mission bonus is stupidly fucking good, then just make sure you're doing your agendas and stuff and you don't lose your Emperor Champion if you have him, so that you gain enough honor points so that even if you lose, just spend 2 RP, be like, no, I won. And there's just nothing your opponent can do. And then really just kind of fuck with your the guy whoever's running the crusade. Be like, we both win. He's like, why? And he's like, 'cause Templars. And then Penitent Crusade, if you pull, you end up doing a Vegeta and just get stomped into the ground. Can make up for it. Battle trades, specific ones to Crusader squads. incentivizing keeping neophytes around. Add one to advance and charge rolls made for the unit, as long as you have at least one. And, you know, like, with these kind of, yeah, I like where this is going. Specific things for chaplains. Oh, there's the Aurelian Shroud. Gives the unit stealth. The Ancient Breviary, which was the book. Crusader's Helm. I don't know about you guys, but I always used to put that on the Apothecary for his Feel No Pain aura. And Tannhauser's Bones. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, change the damage characteristic of that attack to 1. This would be so busted if it was in competitive play. Crusade badges. And a name generator. And then there's the points values. There you have it, everyone. The oh so sought after Collector's Edition Black Templars Codex Supplement. Thanks for watching.